Watch me rescue my Anthurium Pterodactyl hybrid, which is, for lack of a better word, a beast right now. I chucked it away because I didn't have the right storage, but now I do, and I'm going to give her the makeover she deserves. Take a good look at this tropical Anthurium that I got here in Trinidad. I bought it as a sizable plant about 4 years ago, and since then it has just exponentially exploded with growth. Over time, a couple other collectors and myself have tried to identify this. We have settled on it being a Anthurium pterodactyl hybrid. It has proven to be super resilient, as hybrids usually are. It's quite capable of growing in a variety of conditions, including some direct sun, because I placed it when we moved in an area that received direct sun, unfortunately, because of a lack of storage. And it sustained itself even being open pollinated up until now. So, the plan for today is to restore it to optimal health by pruning it and chopping and propping so that I could create a couple backups in case something goes wrong. To help me achieve the best results, let me introduce the sponsor of this video, Magnolia Landscaping. I needed an aroid mix that I could trust, and because Magnolia is one of my top spots to shop from, there was no doubt in my mind that the aroid mix would be perfect for this plant rescue. It's made of organic materials and has been perfected for aeration, which is exactly what I need for the humid conditions that I grow in now since I recently moved to the foothills of the northern range here in Trinidad. My plan is to also place them after rescuing into the greenhouse for it to continue rehabilitating. In the future, I plan to make an update video to show you all exactly how the plants performed, if they failed or if they flopped, so be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss that update. If you haven't been to Magnolia's yet, be sure to check out this video, which is a full tour of their space, including pricing on some of my favorite items that they stock. Here's a peek into their hidden tropical oasis. Back then, in May, I believe it was the first time I was introduced to their soil, and you would have heard me say this in the tour. I'm actually super curious to try this on my alocasias and colocasias specifically because I'm still struggling with them even though I'm using semi-hydro, and this is available for $60. Up on the screen you can see a bit of the ingredients that's contained in it, which is peat moss, perlite charcoal, rice hull, worm castings, cocoa chips, and orchid bark. While I was there and we got into some talks, they mentioned that they use this soil for all of their plants regardless of the species. What I intend to do is to use the mix in my own plant collection and get back to you guys in terms of the reviews and basically how I thought the soil worked. And here I am today fulfilling that promise to you all with my plant rescue mission for my Anthurium Pterodactyl hybrid. So let's get to it. The first thing that I want to do is to assess where I can make a couple cuts to create those backups or propagations. Because the nodes are so tightly spaced, I fear I'm going to have to make these cuts blindly. It's going to get brutal, so brace yourself. I simply took my sterilized steak knife and sadly just butchered the upper part of the plant. With the abundance of leaves and inflows, I mean, the inflows are secondary to me. I literally did not have much wiggle room, so I took the best cuts that I could, and I'll give you all a close up shortly. I was able to get two cuts with a lot of collateral damage. All of these inflows, some are pollinated, some are not. I'm going to have to get rid of just to ensure that the plant itself is using all its energy to produce or grow new roots and by extension new leaves eventually. This cut I'm going to discard because it does not look viable to me. It doesn't have any aerial roots and not even a node, I believe. This one we have a good chance with. I actually see some new roots and some aerials that can work definitely. Okay, so here's a close-up of one of the cuttings. I have a bit of a head start here with some aerial roots already growing. That'll definitely work in my favor. I removed the leaf sheets that were hiding the nodes just to have a clear understanding of how many nodes I had. And just as some quick information, I'm going to pop out these immature pollinated Anthurium seeds. Berries, sorry, these are the berries. Inside of the berries, you're going to see me squash them and pop out the seeds that you can actually plant when they mature. These being immature can't be planted. Well, I don't think they would be viable. I've never tried, to be honest. But let me throw up this video here if you're interested in growing Anthuriums from seed. It's a step-by-step tutorial that even beginners can follow. This is the second cutting. That is quite a huge chunk. I removed the leaf sheets again to give you all a nice view of some roots that I have working in my favor again. Because of how resilient this Anthurium has proven to be, I'm not going to remove much of the leaves, only the inflows. This is all the collateral damage and all the inflows that I'm removing so that the cutting can use all its energy to produce new roots, as I mentioned before, and hopefully push out some new foliage sooner than later. I got an entire bouquet. Inflows are such a great visual cue that your plant is super happy. In this video, you can check it out to see all the products that I use to grow my collection optimally. I'm going to set the cuttings aside for a bit for it to callus, and we're going to tackle this repot next. I have a tower of roots to tackle, and I'm going to take you through every step of the way. I'm going to loosen the root ball and actually do some root pruning. I know this is going to make y'all cringe, but I got rid of all of these roots on the bottom here. And, research has shown that it actually puts the plant into overdrive. So I'm hoping it does so. Again, I'll do an update video to show y'all if it actually happens. And just like that, after root pruning, I potted it back up in its original mix. What I'm doing next is stabilizing it just until the roots grip into the soil again using my configurable stake set. Everything that you see me using will be linked in the description below if you want to take a better look or get some more information on the tools that I used in this video. I'm going to stack it a little higher so that I could create another root tower. So I'm in essence making a moss collar so that the upper nodes can continue to root into the moss to give myself some insurance or just a backup here for the actual mother plant. Okay, so this is it all set up, and I'm just going to moisten some sphagnum moss and pile it into the collar so that the aerial roots can start rooting into the substrate and really create some insurance for me. Like I said in an update video, I'll be sure to let y'all know the progress and, if things are flopping or what, so that, you can learn from my mistakes if that is the case, but I'm pretty confident this will work. I went ahead and potted the rooted cuttings into the Magnolia soil mix. So we'll have a great comparison here to see how the mix actually performed for the new cuttings as compared to the mother plant, which is back in its original mix. I feel super confident with this plant rescue. I went ahead and I watered it using Great White. This is one of my go-to strategies. I'll link another plant chores video for you all in the description below so that you can see in detail how I conduct my plant chores. But yeah, I think we're all done there. I have 3 new plants. Hopefully they all work for me, and if you're on Instagram, you'll be sure to see the first signs of success there. So go ahead and click that link in the description to follow along on that platform. And for now, thanks for watching this one. I'll be sure to update you guys soon. See you in the next one.